Hi everyone, today we're going to be touching upon string theory. I realized that as I'm entering into tier 4, it's important that I use my knowledge for good and give insight to where there's not so much delving into. And so string theory is the next place. Now each word I'm going to say is very deep, okay, so I'm carefully wording it the way I'm wording it for a reason. And I'm going to say it, and I hope that this will open your minds by the time I finish these 2 paragraphs. Hopefully it won't take more than 5 minutes. When it comes to string theory, you're not going to be able to prove it because the strings themselves are a theory. There's no mass to detect. So if math is all it relies on, then testing is not how we should think about it. Rather, discover what the implications of its existence does on our experiments. Unless, of course, they are the cause of our experiments turning out the way they do. The knife doesn't cut itself concept. If everything is made up of strings, what is there to test except the strings themselves? Strings on strings. Plus, you can't have them touch each other, it's too small. Just as it's impossible for 2 stars to collide randomly, no less, it's impossible for 2 strings to really collide. Another way, find anywhere where a string's existence has an implication, an explanation, or practical application for the functioning of some variable, be it observation, manifestation, alteration, or divergence from probable cause, and then test that area to see why the string would listen to the mind. You want to think in terms of alteration, making a change in reality, because we know the string are the cause of reality. And from that basis, we can reverse engineer the causality of strings. Anything missing is always the indication for the solution. What don't we know? If strings exist. Why can't we know? Can't see them. So why does the math pick it up? The answer to most scientists is they say math is math. But often the string exists because some scientists had an intuition. Why would their intuition think there was a massless string or object at the source? Okay, so once you ponder that question, that scientist will get a better picture on how to find the answer. If you can't figure this out, using this technique, think in terms of what would your life be like had strings not existed. Had you never heard of them, you never would have come across this idea. I'm saying we would have no source for energy. That's it. We wouldn't have a source for it. Then, if there is no source, I would just go and eat ice cream and do something fun and forget about science. Whereas this shows mass has a source. The only reason people don't know is because they are thinking linearly, without realizing the solution has already been created when you decided you want to know the answer. With this in mind, there is no question that can't be answered. I think my above answers are enough, and the more science and math you know, the more you will have the answers. Because yes, you gain knowledge, but you also gain knowledge that other people will agree is a well-grounded process for obtaining truth, which in turn gives you the ability to speak in a way that factors in how they will react and understand. This in turn raises the likelihood of discoveries in general. See here, there's a convergence of knowledge and phenomenon that allows for what gets received as so-called truth. This is one of the deepest videos I've ever said because I never usually read my notes straight out. Usually I have to paraphrase them and divide them up into like 10 videos and only use tidbits. But if you ponder this enough, this will expand your mind to turquoise or expand your mind to late teal. And it's really deep. It'll be relevant for your scientific research and your discoveries. I know you will gain, and I hope you are able to utilize this. All the best.